which song it is that you would like, and I will make it happen. Okay? Stay tuned. We are going to be right up with our next interview. Yes, I tell you, I have an audience that's locked all the way from Jamaica, Canada, the USA, Africa, the UK, different parts of the world. Because of this, they're so infused by the fact that Kenyatta Hill will be joining me in just a few minutes. My, I have never been nervous to do an interview before, but I tell you, my spirit speaks, okay? Keep vibing, Kenyatta Hill, the legendary sounds. If you know anything about culture, you know that the legendary sounds of Kenyatta Hill is going to be up momentarily. Keep vibing.
In all my action
Yes, gather your parties. Yes, and keep vibing. Yes, to the African dub African mix. Of course, it is that we are talking about the legendary sounds of Kenyatta Hill, who does not disappoint. And I have Africa, as we talk about African dub, we have Africa that's locked. Shout out to Namibia. I see you loud and clear. Reggae vibration. I see you guys, and I thank you for tuning in as well. South Africa, Ghana, all the way to Ethiopia, Mauritius, Nigeria in the house. Big ups. I love you guys. Yes, and of course, we can't forget Gambia in the house as well. You guys keep vibing. Kenyatta Hill will be up.
I've lost my sight. Tell me what your mother might say if she saw you living this way. Tell me, can you go another day trying to find your life through the maze? You never know if love was real. Pulls you closer than magnet to steel. That's how I know my child is real. He never slumber nor sleeps. Jaja is the only friend I know. Cause my forefathers told I so. He guides I everywhere I go. Thankful for the blessings he bestowed. It's what they taught me when I was younger. We should always have for each other when it seems to be so hard to find. Just show some grace and you will shine, 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 shine.
Thanks and praise to the listening audience, and I tell you, we, as I said before, and I'll keep on saying, we never disappoint. And guess what? I would like to big up Scott, who all the way from Japan, hail me up and say, Empress Rose, yeah, one of my favorite artists right now. One of my favorite artists that I'm going to be listening. I have been listening to you. And there's a few of my other buddies who are listening in Japan as well. Big up to Scott, because you guys are what? On a different level. Early in the morning. Early in the morning. Different time zone for you guys. So I appreciate you listening to me. Yes. Japan is listening. Okay, we bring the vibes, and as well to my Caribbean islands, because it is that. Sometimes I do forget my Caribbean islands to shout them out, but we'd like to shout out Barbados, who is heavily listening right now as well. We have Trinidad, who is also tapping in as well. Keep vibing. Kenyatta Hill will be up in just a few minutes.
That's how I know my child is real. is told.
It's what they taught me when I was younger, that we should always have for each other when it seems to be so hard to find. Just show some grace and you will shine, 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 shine.
To shout out Namibia, who is Namibia strong with the Rastafarians right now, who is vibing and saying Empress was big up. Namibia is in the house, and to all those Rastafarians out of Cape Town that are tuning in and showing respect, I love you guys, I love you guys, I love you guys. Donna, I see you as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm not going to let you wait anymore, okay? So I'm going to have, next time I come back, Kenyatta Hill will be on the, don't worry about it.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Can I be real with you for a second? That goal you have to exercise and eat better, you really can do it, but nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to push you out of bed to work out. Nobody is going to make you eat better. But here's the thing. Nobody has to, because you can do it if you have the right tools and a community that cares about helping you get results. And that's us, Beachbody. 2.5 million people, each doing the Beachbody program that fits our own goals. Over 80 to choose from, some that take just 20 minutes a day. Nutrition plans that teach you how to eat healthy and still enjoy food. What we all have in common is we know it's not easy, so we help each other. It's as convenient as your TV or laptop, but you need to decide that you're worth it. That's why I'm inviting you to try our amazing Beachbody fitness and nutrition programs. Let us help you succeed. Here's how. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.
If you're hearing this song on your phone, in your car, or in aisle 7 of the grocery store, you're not really hearing it. You're not really hearing the hypnotic disco synth as clearly as you could. You're not really feeling the bass line in your chest. And you're certainly not hearing a century of sound innovation. The only way to hear this song the way the artist intended is to hear it on a Denon home speaker. A speaker built with as much craft, dedication, and precision as the music it plays. Which means you won't just hear the song, you'll feel it. Denon home wireless speakers, crafted by the sound obsessed, for the sound obsessed.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something, okay? If you are just tapping in, you are listening to the sounds of, we're talking about legendary, prolific reggae artist Kenyatta Hill, okay? Of culture. And let me tell you something. It's a joy. I am so happy to see the amount of persons across the world. I mean, this is a weekly thing, but this is just exceptional today because it is that. I have gotten so much requests to bring Kenyatta on, and now that I finally have him on, it looks like the countries just keep on calling each country and saying, guess what, Kenyatta gonna be on? Because my board just shoot up with the amount of countries between Africa, Jamaica, different places that are just tuning in. A bigger audience than our other two guests that just came on. But I know when we talk about Kenyatta, I guess the world would like to know what's going on in his world. But I'm not going to keep you guys no more. I tell you, when I come back, I was going to bring Kenyatta, right? He is on right now. So go ahead. You can start sending in the questions. Kenyatta, how are you?
I am doing good, Empress. And how are you today? How are you?
Let me tell you, man, I am happy. I am happy to hear your voice. Yes?
Good thanks.
I am just going to give you your flowers ahead of everybody else. I have studied your craft for years, your backstory, the music, and yes, they say good music never dies. Good music never dies. And what I love about your productions is that I can pick it up anytime and I can listen to it, right? And the message that is the message that is exhumed between every single production there is. Of course, we're listening to the legendary Zion Gate in the background. I tell you, I put out a flyer yesterday and people went crazy and said, "Who?" Kenyatta Hill. So let me ask you, Kenyatta, because what happened? You haven't been doing interviews because everybody is just hitting me up and saying they want to hear about Kenya. They want to hear Kenyatta. I was like, oh, wait a second. You haven't been doing interviews? Or you've been in hiding?
It's not that I've not been doing any interviews. It's more like I'm getting my another production ready for release. So yeah, I've been kind of busy in the studio, busy working, family time, all that, because COVID came around and it put a dampening on everything. So I'm like, okay, let me use this time to create new content, spend more time with the family, because before COVID, I was never home. I was always on tour.
Okay.
Always doing my music.
Always on tour. Yes. Well, I tell you, someone else shared that with me and said you can find Kenyatta before the COVID. You could find Kenyatta in somewhere in the world performing. So as we talk about you performing in various places in the world, what is your favorite? This interview is going to go a different way now. This is not a traditional interview. So I'm going to throw out questions that our audience have as well, and we will get into the nitty-gritty of things. But right now, my question to you is, where is your favorite place to perform in the world?
Well, it's on the continent of Africa. Africa is my place. I love Africa. I love Africa beyond words could explain to you. Like, just tell me I'm going to Africa, I'm ready. I mean, they all know, like, this is his home. Huh? Yeah.
Let me tell you, I feel you. Let me tell you, every single time I go, no matter what country it is in Africa, we are ever so well received. The beauty of Africa as well, right? So is there a favorite African? Well, I'm not going to take that out to you for you to tell me there's no favorite African country. Just as long as you are in Africa performing, you're good.
As long as I'm in Africa, but to be honest, I love Kenya. I love Ghana. Yeah, Malawi, big time. South Africa, they all have their own different vibe.
Yes.
But when it comes down to like the vibe of the music, and they want that authentic
reggae.
You know what I mean? They're like, okay, you go to Kenya. You talk about Ghana. You talk about Malawi.
Yes.
South Africa too. Nigeria is great. Gambia is great. Senegal is great. But the first two places, Kenya and Ghana, number one on my list. Number one on my list.
Yes, let me tell you, Kenya is like my second home. So shout out to all the Kenyans currently listening right now. Of course it is that, it's late for them. So for me to see Kenyans who are just like sitting here right now, because it's after 11, we are way ahead of them. They're way ahead of us in terms of time. And they took the time. Yeah, they took the time out. Someone even sent me a message earlier, and it's like, our president, our name, the highway, and it's Kenyatta, and they were breaking down different things to me, and I said, oh, I already know that. I already know that. So you're working on an album. Is that you're working on an album? Okay. How many tracks should we expect?
14.
14. So can we do a 15? Because I want to do a song with you. So it's number 15.
Well, if you're serious, I'm ready. I'm not joking. You think of music and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
Now, for the album itself, of course it is that the audience, I am just going to say that for myself, as one of the persons that will be, in line for it, I know that
Yeah.
I am going to get something awesome, you know. I can't wait. I can't wait for the album itself. But are there any collaborations to look forward to on this album?
Yes.
At least 3, 4?
At least 5.
At least 5.
3, 4 now. At least 5. Yeah, at least 5 collaborations. And I
Yes.
could give up a few names, but I would really like it to be a surprise. But just say Jesse Royal is a part of it.
Big up Jesse Royal. He's
Yeah,
nominated.
Jesse Royal is a part of it, and I'm in talks with Stephen Marley. So yeah,
Did you
we're getting a very good album together. Like, yeah,
Do you
it's
kn-
been long overdue, and I mean, people have been waiting and asking because I've got good friends in Africa. Like, when is the next album going to drop, my friend?
they ask?
To be very honest, I don't know
Listen,
yet. So I want it to be mixed, the best production, the best musicians, and the best engineers to work.
so
It's
Stephen Marley
Yeah.
is one of my favorites. Yeah.
okay.
I could listen to Stephen Marley all day. Yes. And I have actually that's the fact that I've actually let his manager know, like, yeah, that's what that is. You give me a Stephen Marley song, I know every single song. But yes, it's great. I can't wait to especially hear that collaboration and, you know, going on and stuff like that. Now, outside of your own music that you're doing, is there like you know, do you listen to music outside your music, and you basically are concentrating on a new artist that is evolving right now that you really like hearing?
Well, yes.
Some names.
There's this well, he's not so new, he's been on the scene for a while, but it's more like I would say more like on the underground circuit, more like, yeah, but he's very conscious.
Who is that?
His name is Singer J. Singer J. You know that little kid from Jamaica, Singer J.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I just spoke with him the other day and I was like, bro, I would love for us to do a collaboration because he has that audience, the underground, and I've got the mainstream audience. So it's a good, they would say it's a good mashup. You know what I mean? It's a good slap together act.
Well, it's good looking out as well. You know, as I interview various artists across the world, one of the things that always stand out for me is that I consider artists to be rather exceptional in terms of their recordings. And the young artist who is up and coming, regardless of whatever country it is, you don't necessarily, some people don't want to be mentors, but as well to kind of bring them, you know, onto the circuit so they can understand a little bit more about the music. Because if no one is bringing them on the circuit and not instilling in them what the music is about, they're forced to, you know, of course, go do their own research and find out a little bit more about it as well. But even research, we're in the internet age where everything that's on the internet is not correct as well. But it's nothing more than like, you know, working and doing. You get more of your exercise, I would think, as an artist by hands-on and being around other artists that have, you know, are from a different caliber as well.
Okay, like example, Barrett Hammond. My father, everybody knows my father's name is Joseph Hill Culture.
Right.
But Barrett Hammond, after my father passed away, he was the person who took me under his wings for at least 7-8 years.
Nice.
And I was his personal recording engineer. Not only that, he exposed me to the world. Like, you need to be out here to captivate and to spread your message onto this audience. So that helped me to grow in another way. It helps me to realize and see, like, okay, the way I was going with the music, there is space for adjustment.
Yes.
Which I did make adjustment to my music.
I love it. And also the better, because I tell you, you have some hits. Yeah. But as you as you talk about your dad, you know, and I will get into a little bit of my dad as well, you know. As you talk about your dad, we have this one phrase that does stay out there that says that when your father's career, well, your career began the day your father ended. Would you sign and seal that statement as a true statement?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm as in Jamaica we say I'm a living testimony to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a testimony to that. Like, okay, my father died today, and I was on stage tomorrow, so it was like, ooh.
And
not knowing what I was going to do, but anyway, it's like, okay, my dad left this legacy, and I mean, as usual, it was up to the fans to decide. Because if it was up to me, I would have taken myself home. Because losing somebody that you care about so much, and somebody who has such great influence in your life, not because they're your parent or you're related, but just the fact that they're so influential on the world, it grows on you.
Let me tell you, I have so much respect for what you did within that period of time. And there is a saying that unless it is that you walk in someone's shoe or walk closely, you will not understand exactly what it is. But here is what my appreciation is about. My dad was my best friend. I'm from a medical background in terms of both parents. So my father was a doctor. And my best friend, and he passed away on my birthday 6 years ago. So for the past 5 years, and people don't understand how hurtful it is when you're so close to someone, and then it is that I am not a medical doctor. I am a doctor of ethnomusicology, but I'm not a doctor of medicine. However, it is that in the life goals and, you know, what exactly he stood for, and ensuring that it is that you bring persons under the wings and you teach them the ropes as well, is to continue with that legacy. But it was one of the hardest things for me to even get over, because again, he passed away on my birthday. And so every year, once it gets to, like, say, October, I just am secluded. And I really don't like to talk. The most I talk is when I'm on this interview. That's when I talk. Right? But for me, it's usually a time where it is that I just, like, nobody hears from me until, like, say, January, February again. So it's me working out the kinks right now in November, doing an interview right now. So I have a lot of respect for the pain it is that you on stage performing after your dad passed away. I'm giving you your flowers while it is that you're still alive, because so many of us do not do that. Shout outs to you. Hats off to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. We're playing Zion Gate in the background, but we're going to jump to one of your other tracks, right? Natty Never Get Weary. And we will be right back with some more questions for the audience. Keep on sending in those questions. And I see all the shout outs that's coming in from Jamaica across the world. We're going to do some shout outs so they come back again for Kenyatta Hill. Oh, keep it coming. We will be right back, okay?
Brutality, I tell about, you know, brother. Nothing ever yet get weary and free. Nothing ever get weary. Shout it out and tell them. Nothing ever get weary. I know the battle seems so hard in Babylon. The conflict gets so wrong, things get really hard. Nothing ever get to me. Say to them right out, let them hear it. We will. I was standing on a corner reasoning with two daughters. Reasoning with your equal rights and justice. Teaching them of the way they are to live. You come to Babylon to ride on a race. Never yet get weary. Babylon jump out of the jeep and say, why? Give me a search out about it. I'm on through the back forward, baby. The sticker you put him gonna just come forward, don't can I innocently and begin juke all over. You know? I mean, I'm on forward inside of the Jeep, him carry forward to Stony Hill jail, you know? And when him take us to Stony Hill jail, him take everything from I and everything inside possess. Master, where I get it, you know? Him say, boy, you inside of the jail. You want wara right now, but I just dose you up, sure. And tell her, man. Is that a right way for a human as a policeman? To react to a citizen as a peaceful one, not doing any wrong but still for all, because I'm 21,000 miles away from home. Still chant it out and tell them, near to the possession of bad penalization.
Yes, I can see persons vibing from across the aisle. Yes, that person's vibing across the aisle. I love it. Okay, well, boy, I tell you, I am not trying to get overwhelmed, okay, because I'm not the artist, but there's a lot of questions that's coming in right now, so I am going to get to a few of those questions. And right out the gate, we have questions coming out of Namibia. So we have actually a group out of Namibia that's tuned in right now, you know. When I say tuned in, I mean tuned in, a bunch of Rastafarians just vibing and drinking liquor and listening to Kenyatta Hill. And it says, this is what it says: they still cry eye water when they watch culture legendary performance in SA. It was a gem. I thank you for that. Hold on a second. It says, please ask Kenyatta how was his experience in Malawi with Andrew Tosh. It's a two-part question, so let's start with that. Three-part question, actually. How was his experience in Malawi with Andrew Tosh? What was that experience like?
Well, that experience was great, but the only downfall to that was Andrew never made it because he had a medical issue that he couldn't travel. So I was on stage for like 5 hours in Malawi. I mean, like, I was on stage at like 2 in the morning, and I got off like 7:30 a.m. in the morning, and everybody was like, I have never seen this before. He's a crazy man. It's not crazy, but I'm here to do my job, and it's both of us, and he's not here. I mean, the least I could do is sing a few Peter Tosh. I mean, I'm already there.
It's interesting because when persons said to me, like, Empress was the one to perform over in Africa, and they have 2 songs, and I said, what are you gonna do? You're going to sing the 2 songs over and over? Because Africa is not taking anything under an hour for a performance. But that's a long time to be on stage. But yeah, no, man. Listen, Kenyatta, you're cut from a different cloth. Because nowadays, even with some of the performances.
Brother Bob Marley says, one good thing about music, when it hits, you feel no pain. That's what happened to me in Malawi. The music hit me, and I felt no pain. I felt no tiredness. I felt no pain. I felt no discomfort. I just did my job, got off stage at 7 in the morning, went to my hotel, shower, and came right back to the venue to line with my people. And they were like, aren't you tired?
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Can I be real with you for a second? That goal you have to exercise and eat better, you really can do it. But nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to push you out of bed to work out. Nobody is going to make you eat better. But here's the thing. Nobody has to. because you can do it if you have the right tools and a community that cares about helping you get results. And that's us, Beachbody. 2.5 million people, each doing the Beachbody program that fits our own goals. Over 80 to choose from, some that take just 20 minutes a day. Nutrition plans that teach you how to eat healthy and still enjoy food. What we all have in common is we know it's not easy, so we help each other. It's as convenient as your TV or laptop, but you need to decide that you're worth it. That's why I'm inviting you to try our amazing Beachbody fitness and nutrition programs. Let us help you succeed. Here's how. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.
If you're hearing this song on your phone, in your car, or in aisle 7 of the grocery store, you're not really hearing it. You're not really hearing the hypnotic disco synth as clearly as you could. You're not really feeling the bass line in your chest. And you're certainly not hearing a century of sound innovation. The only way to hear this song the way the artist intended is to hear it on a Denon home speaker. A speaker built with as much craft, dedication, and precision as the music it plays. Which means you won't just hear the song, you'll feel it. Denon home wireless speakers, crafted by the sound obsessed, for the sound obsessed.
You need to go get to this. I'm like, nope, I'm okay. I'm okay. I still got 3 more days to sleep. You know what I mean? So I'm okay.
Listen.
I enjoy Malawi.
Malawi is the place. Shout out to all my Malawians that's currently listening as well. One of my favorite DJs, number 1 DJ as well. Shout out to Selector Kenzo as well. That's his hometown. Whoever is residing in South Africa right now. And of course, he said Kenyatta is his favorite artist. So we love that. And let me tell you, as we talk about that performance and the time that's performing as well, I have said to persons, I was like, listen, when you talk about going on stage and performing for 30 minutes, that's nothing. Yeah, bring the 1 hour, the 2 hour, whatever. You need to have that stamina, whatever. The artists that would actually go on stage and deliver content for a period of time, and we're talking about content that you can listen to over and over again. But don't worry. It always skips a generation and then it comes back around as well, because it gives artists time who do not know the industry and to actually step up and to elevate themselves as well. But it's going to be this time where it's coming back around where it is that the artists that people thought that were put to the side, and they're going to make a huge connection because they still have the ability to go on stage and perform for an hour or more. Hats off for that. Namibia also would like to know if when you do your new album, will you also have hard copies available, because they're interested in hard copies?
Oh, yes. CDs will be made, and vinyl, too. I'm planning on doing vinyl for this one.
Yes. I want the vinyl.
Yeah, a lot of people, a whole heap of people stop playing a record. But me? No. The record have that nice, warm, heavy sound.
Yes.
The bass is nice and big, and yeah, you know as a DJ.
Big and authentic. Big and authentic, not like the watered down productions that, we're from an age right now where it is like it's moved to digital. And for myself, I think there's a disconnect in terms of digital as well. I see, even as a distributor, I feel like CDs and the vinyls and stuff like that, it would actually give the artists more flexibility to make money for their songs and stuff. It's moved to digital, and not every artist understands how digital works. So if there are persons in different places that are playing their songs, they think, oh, I'm a millionaire now. And then they get a check and it's like, wait, how does $18? Because the digital stores are paying per stream 0.0006, 0.0005, and it's not even equals to a penny. So I don't know, but that's a whole nother story.
You just need to let them know you're not getting a dollar from these people. What they're showing you is just like numbers that don't add up to anything.
They don't add up to nothing. Don't add up to nothing, yeah? And I always tell persons as well, they say, oh, my friends, they buy my album. Don't believe your friend. Don't believe your friend.
Everything's on the internet for free. I know that.
Don't believe the friend.
It doesn't matter what barcode you put on there so they can't do a physical download without
Yeah.
buying it.
Yeah.
There is somebody out there who's going to figure out how to work around that system.
Exactly.
So for me, I put my music there so everybody could enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to buy a copy, that's okay. If you don't want to buy a copy, that's okay too.
Yes. Now let me ask, in terms of merchandise, when you're touring or you're doing your shows, do you also do merchandise?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a huge market.
That's a huge market, and that's where on tour, like when you do what some people call a tour is that they go to New York and they do 1 or 2 shows, and they're like, oh, I'm on tour, no, you were not on tour. You went to New York.
Well, this is funny. I am really loving it because I said that to someone the other day. Like they were talking about this artist being on tour, and I says, no, he's just in the U.S. He did 5 shows. Remember we did tour and it was 30 shows, 40 shows, 60 shows?
Let me tell you, let me express something to you, my sister. What I call a tour is when you leave your house, you leave your home, and you go and you get your band, and you all jump on a 50-foot tour bus, which sleeps 12 people, and you start in Miami, and there is no stopping until you get to California and back to Miami again. That's what we call a tour. 8, 12, 16 weeks on tour. How many artists really do these kind of tours? Not many.
No, they're not doing like that anymore.
You have the Marleys, you have Chronix, Protege, Lila Ike, myself, Burning Spirit. I'm not even talking about the godfathers or the elders in this thing. I'm talking about these new so-called upcoming artists. Oh, me I go to New York, I'm go on tour. Okay.
Yeah, you visited the U.S. and you did 5 shows, right? And then you have the artists as well that, man, to each its own. To each its own. I don't even want to get into that number as well, where it is that, we tell ourselves that because it is that we have 2 songs playing on the radio, that is it. You remember back in the days where it is that when you step in a studio, you had to prove yourself? They wouldn't record you. And now it is that people just get a little bit, just go into GarageBand and they build a little rhythm and they put it on and say, oh, I'm a producer. You know what a producer entails? Knowing the ins and outs of the industry.
They don't know. They don't know.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yep.
It's a lot. It's a lot goes into real production. Not going in front of a computer and say, oh, I'm in the studio. No, you're sitting in front of a computer. You're not in the studio.
you're in.
And I'm not sitting here bashing anyone.
Yeah.
Trust me. But we have to understand the difference between a proper production and pre-production. Because what a lot of these guys do is called pre-production. Yes, it sounds good. But it still needs work.
Yes.
But they don't know. So they just jump and they say, hey, this is it for me. Yeah, sounds good. Put it out tomorrow.
Yes.
No. I've been working on my album for the past 18 months. Am I in any rush? No.
That's right. Good things take time, right?
Yes.
Good things take time.
Rush? No, because I'm getting my music done in different parts of the world. Different musicians, not just the same guys in the studio. No.
Yes.
I send out my voice, or sometimes I speak with the producer and I'm like, okay, this is my idea, so we're gonna have to work across the phone while they're working so I can hear what they're doing. How can you say that you're into production when you can't even tell what key your song is in? Really?
No, let me tell you something, and I am saying this here because it's so relevant at this time to say it. I had a conversation with a producer recently, and I have all these persons that actually hit me up. And the thing about it is that I'm a female in the industry, so you have some male who think that it's not relevant, or you're not relevant because you're a female in the industry. But I didn't start doing this last week. I've been doing this from me open my eyes, right? So, and as well, even though I don't shout out the accolades, I'm a glorified producer, right? However, I had someone who reached out to me recently, and I have all these persons that keep coming to me, and they don't think that I know music. And when it is that I had checked certain things, you know, on the list of things and said this is not correct or whatever, and they feel some type of way. And I'm not there to bring anybody down, but especially for myself, when I market and promote something, I market and promote something that I believe in. I don't market and promote trash. I market and promote stuff that I believe in. But within that mix itself, I even had a conversation with a producer where his song was sampled. And I asked him, did you know the song is sampled? And he asked me, what is that?
Huh?
Yes, but the producer has what do you call it? He has something that came out in the Jamaica paper that says he's one of the biggest producers in the game right now. And you don't know what a sample is? Come talk to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. You know what? Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Like I said,
that's a wow. That's a wow right there. Like, wow.
Like I said, for myself, it is that there's a lot that I could say and I don't say, but I felt like this time right here, it's convenient for me to say that because I have a lot of persons across the world as well that are listening, that are producers as well. And what I'm saying is that if you're going to get into the game, know what it's about. And there's a fine line to walk. Do not run. Do not run, because you're listening to Kenyatta Hill, who has been in the business for years, and even himself can tell you. He has an album that he's coming out with, but great things take time. So rather rush and put out trash, take the time, learn the industry, read up about it. When in doubt, go to YouTube University, as my daughter would say. When in doubt, go to YouTube University, go learn some stuff. Right? And when you feel as if it's good and it's ready, then you go ahead and you start releasing stuff, because you're not going to learn everything one time. But if you don't know the simple underlying basic things in terms of doing music, because if you don't know what a sample is, you could land you in a lot of trouble.
Yep, because you'll be taking people's stuff, and some people, they don't play when it comes to their music or their production. Like, why are you using what's going on? Nah, cease and desist. No more of this.
Exactly.
And if I should hear it again, you know how it goes. There's a lawsuit coming.
Exactly. So, yeah. But it's also good to vibe with somebody that has been in the industry for a while. I was actually speaking with a friend of mine recently, where it is that we wanted to create a panel that includes some of the upcoming artists, some of the emerging artists, and artists that has been in the game for some time, because there is a disconnect, right? It's not that there is no connection. There is a disconnect, all right? When it is that money takes over the authenticity of the music. We need authentic music. But unlike, other persons that will go and they will buy trash, I don't buy trash. I would rather go back and listen to a Kenyatta album. I'd rather go back and listen to a Richie Stephens. I'd rather go back and listen to some of, the Peter Tosh's and, Stephen Marley. Yeah? Rather than keep on listening to garbage. Oh, but we got to nip it in the butt before it gets any further, because you have these guys who have a little bit of money or are scammers, and they are paying their way through to the industry. And I remember back in the day where it is that when you step into a studio, you had to prove who the hell you were. Nobody's not proving themselves anymore. And enough is enough.
Well, my father had to prove himself. Like, I it's not that I know. I am a singer, and this is what I do. Because a lot of people thinks that my dad is just only a singer. No, my dad plays every instrument you put in front of him professionally.
Wow.
My dad, his first instrument was the drum kit. Before my father got into singing, before he started his group Culture, he used to play with the Soul Syndicate as the drummer.
Yes, and it's also important to learn an instrument as a producer, even as a singer. It's important to learn an instrument. You can't go wrong because you can use it as a guide.
Creation. For me, creation. I pick up my guitar, electric or an acoustic, and it helps me to gather my notes and my thoughts together, put my song, get the structure of my song all ready. So when I go to the studios, I could tell them, okay, gentlemen, it's E to A to B minor to G back to E. You keep repeating that until we hit the bridge. Then the bridge might be a C minor to an F sharp, and something come back around here back. And then after 8 bars of that, you tell some people 8 bars of this. They're like, 8 bars? What? Can't you count? 4 beats make 1 bar.
Exactly. Yeah. But again, you have that discussion with a new producer and you throw out those language and they look at you like, what are you talking about? Because when I go in GarageBand and I get some melody and whatever, and I just call it a rhythm, and it makes me a producer. No, that's not what makes you a producer. Yeah? But anyway, we're on to better things.
Right.
So you have your album coming out. I am going to be looking forward to it across the world. People are going to be looking out for it. We have Phil out of Switzerland that's asking, when this album is finished, you're going to be on tour, and is Europe included within the mix for next year?
Yes.
The word is included.
Switzerland, look out. Germany, France, Austria, the Netherlands, Finland, Deutschland, you name it. Look out, because we're coming hot. We're going to be coming in hot.
Coming in hot. You're going to be coming in. Yes, I love it. I love it. Listen, I want to jump to one of your songs, Blessed Herb. You want to tell us about the herb? Yeah. The highlights of this. Yes, you know, let me tell you. We did a flyer for you. And on the flyer itself, it was you smoking. And you wouldn't dream how much persons hit us up talking about this weed picture and stuff like that. And I'm like, it was just a picture we chose. Yeah. Yeah. So talk to me about Blessed Herb.
My herbs partner, like, yo.
Shout out to Lou the Boss, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lou the Boss is the ambassador, you know. He's everything.
No. I am the ambassador.
You're the ambassador.
Lou the Boss is my assistant.
He's listening right now. I know he's cracking up.
My father was the one who sing, I took a split this morning of the international herb. Now, if my father represents in that way where we get to smoke everywhere we go, that means my father passed away, so I'm now the new president.
You're now the new
marijuana business.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I smoke a lot every day. I smoke much. Yeah,
we are going to jump to Blessed Herb, and we will be right back. Take some questions from our audience, okay?
It's like, you know, you see, marijuana unite the whole world. Some call it ganja, some call it cali weed. But you hear me? Since the beginning of time, every culture used the ganja herb. True medicine for the mind, the blessed ganja herbs. Even the Father divine and sanctified the ganja herb. But now you're telling me it's a crime to utilize the ganja herb. Yes, I know that it's right. Ganja helps the people to unite, makes my spirit hopeful and bright. The blessed ganja. Yes, I know that it's right. Ganja helps the people to unite, makes my spirit hopeful and bright. The blessed ganja. The blessed ganja. The blessed herbs. Genesis say, every plant that bears seed, all of those shall be your food. That includes the cali weed, the system labor to exclude. It's a natural remedy to elevate your mood. For the spirit the system breathes to hold the power over you. But I know that it's right. Ganja helps the people to unite, makes my spirit up full and bright. The blessed ganja. Yes, I know that it's right. Ganja helps the people to unite, makes my spirit up full and bright. The blessed ganja. The blessed ganja. The blessed herbs. Hear me now. Though Babylon hate it, I will advocate it. Me, I go celebrate it. The ganja herb. Hear me now, let me tell you again. Oh, Babylon hate it, I will advocate it. Me, I go celebrate it. The ganja herb.
And every time like I hear a herb song, for persons that don't know, I don't smoke, and you have the masses who actually think that I smoke, and I always tell them, I say, I'm naturally high. I don't smoke, I'm just naturally high. That's a whole nother animal when you don't smoke and people think you smoke. But right here, and you know, the herb song, I love it, I love it, I love it. Blessed herb. Coming, if you are just joining right now, because we have a few persons that's just joining right now, I would like to take the time out actually to shout out a few persons and country who are saying Empress Rose. Actually, there are a few persons who are saying big up Kenyatta for me in different countries. So I'm going to call the names them and the country, okay? So out of Montreal, we have Jackie, who is saying that listen, I could not miss this Kenyatta Hill interview because I love this guy to the max. No, he can't do no wrong. There you go. Kenyatta, you hear that? Yes. And then you have out of Toronto, okay? You have Lucky out of Toronto that says, man, I'm loving this guy right here. He said he's a young head. He's a young head. But his father told him all about Joseph Hill and yourself, and it was his duty to listen to this interview today as well, and he's completely impressed by your works as well. We have Jamaica, my stomping ground, De La Vega City. De La Vega City, so what? I could never miss Kenyatta Hill interview that is coming from Cheryl out of De La Vega City. Yes, we have Vineyard.
Big up my country, Jamaica. Big up everybody who's tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yes.
Yes, I can't go through all the names. I can't go through. We will be here all day. We'll be here all day. But more importantly, I tell you, because Japan is on a different time zone right now. But, to Chris and to Colette and to even my Jamaicans who are residing.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Can I be real with you for a second? That goal you have to exercise and eat better, you really can do it, but nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to push you out of bed to work out. Nobody is going to make you eat better. But here's the thing. Nobody has to, because you can do it if you have the right tools and a community that cares about helping you get results. And that's us, Beachbody, 2.5 million people, each doing the Beachbody program that fits our own goals. Over 80 to choose from, some that take just 20 minutes a day. Nutrition plans that teach you how to eat healthy and still enjoy food. What we all have in common is we know it's not easy, so we help each other. It's as convenient as your TV or laptop, but you need to decide that you're worth it. That's why I'm inviting you to try our amazing Beachbody fitness and nutrition programs. Let us help you succeed. Here's how. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.
If you're hearing this song on your phone, in your car, or in aisle 7 of the grocery store, you're not really hearing it. You're not really hearing the hypnotic disco synth as clearly as you could. You're not really feeling the bass line in your chest. And you're certainly not hearing a century of sound innovation. The only way to hear this song the way the artist intended is to hear it on a Denon home speaker. A speaker built with as much craft, dedication, and precision as the music it plays. Which means you won't just hear the song, you'll feel it. Denon home wireless speakers, crafted by the sound obsessed, for the sound obsessed.
In Japan, and some who are Japanese that's tuning in right now, yeah, because they tell me Kenyatta Hill is their favorite and they could not miss this interview. So they're logged in. They don't care what time of day it is. They're logged in and they're clocked in. We appreciate it wholeheartedly. So I am going to take some questions from the audience. I'm going to read out a few questions for you, Kenyatta.
Okay, I'm listening. Hey.
We have Bill out of Malawi that's asking, if you had to collaborate with an African artist, do you have an artist in mind that you would like to collaborate with?
Yes, there's one artist in Kenya. His name is Wiry. He's very good.
Excuse me? Did you just say Wiry?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. That's
I'm touching a few people that you know.
Wiry's my boy.
All right. Wiry's one of them. Mm-hmm. And in Malawi, man, there's this one Rasta. He looks so much. He's a cross between Junior Kelly and Luton Fire.
Who is that?
I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but Lucius Banda and Ray and these people who do the Lake Malawi Festival.
No, Kenyatta, you're touching a few subjects. Kenyatta, Lucius Banda, that's my boy too. Do you know the story of Lucius Banda, by the way?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Nothing but respect for him. Nothing but respect for him. When you talk about people who do music, not just for doing music, but there's a cause and the fight and the struggles that they go through, their countries. I mean, for people who don't know, they were not playing Lucius Banda at one point. Nobody could play his music in Malawi. You had to go outside of Malawi to listen to his music.
They don't want Bobby Wine's music to be played in Uganda.
Right.
That's not cool.
Exactly. Yep. The pioneers. If you don't know who Lucius Banda is, go look him up. Lucius Banda is the man.
They don't know? No, you know. Go look him up.
Go look him up. Lucius Banda is the man. Yes. Nothing but greats. That's for sure. That's for sure. Wow.
And to be honest, I'm very open in doing collaborations with just my African brothers.
Yes.
But two things they've got to be mindful of. Your lyrical content has to be uplifting, educational, inspirational, and also educational. I will not stop saying that. You have to edify your people.
Edify your people. And even now, more than ever, because we're in an era where the forces are fighting, good versus evil, and it's a little bit more than usual. So it's important for artists who are putting out especially reggae material to bring the storyline behind it, and storylines that's going to influence others who do not know about the subject or even people who know about the subject, and it's enhanced through the production of your music. That's why they call me the big checks.
Hey, amen. Amen, sister.
Kenyatta, I could talk to you all day. I tell you, I was telling Althea, because I always have a few artists who come through and they said they're nervous. And then when I interviewed them, and I said, oh, that didn't feel like an interview at all. I was not nervous at all. But, it was kind of like a shift on this side. I've never been nervous. I've interviewed so much different artists, some huge, some that are just, emerging artists and up and running. Actually, when I started my show, I started it because I felt like there were so much artists across the world that had great content and people needed to find it. I didn't care about the big name artists and doing an interview with them. So this platform was built and keeps on going because of the artists who have a voice and they want to be heard out there. And there's a huge family. There are promoters across the world that listen. There are producers across the world. And there are A&R representatives as well, where I do their job for them. Some of them give me credit and some don't. Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
Well, you have done your due diligence in the music.
Exactly.
And you have done right by people. So if they don't want to give you your credit,
don't worry about it.
It's going to shine.
Exactly.
It's going to shine, and they will have to come back to you and say, my apologies, Empress Rose.
I actually have a few already. Yes. That came and says, I actually did my show off of your show. I got my artists because it is I listened to your show, and that's how I started my show. So, yeah, there are a few that actually reach out and say that. But it's all good. We're here. We're on a mission. I've told persons already, I am on a mission. That's why I'm here. I'm on a mission. Yeah? And anybody that stands in my way that don't belong there, I will bulldozer you down with my army to make sure it happens.
Oh.
Right.
You can't stop God's people's work.
You can't stop it. You cannot stop it. You could try, but you cannot stop it.
You can try, but it's not going to go far.
Yes. So, on your very first show, when you come out with your album and you go to tour, I am doing a public request that on this very first show, I want to be front row and center, right? I'm going to be that inspiration behind the next 5-hour performance you're about to do.
Okay, I don't have a problem. I have no problem. You know what?
Yeah.
All right, let's make a deal. Let's make a public deal so the whole world could hear.
Yes.
When this album drops,
yeah,
I'm gonna call you personally and be like, okay, this is the tour schedule. Where are we going to see each other? And you share that energy that we shared across the phone and with the world. Now you need to share that energy in this room with this audience also.
Well, guess what, Kenyatta? I'll do you one better, because there's a world that hear Empress Rose, but they don't know Empress Rose, right? I should say Dr. Empress Rose. Didn't get that off a carton box, so I want to keep on emphasizing that. But
Go ahead.
there's a world out there that doesn't know of Empress Rose. It will actually force me to. I am an introvert who does extrovert things. So here is my thing where I have to look forward to when you go on tour, that I would come on and I would MC the tour for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sounds like we're getting somewhere there.
And guess what? I have a whole new audience that already like my voice. Because you see myself, I don't even go back and listen to my shows and I say, people really like how I talk. I already have that audience that's going to come out just to hear me talk. Yeah? There you go.
Like I never go, well, of lately I started listening back to my shows to see where I could improve. But when I just started, I would not listen to my own concerts.
I can't.
It took a while for me to get used to my voice, hearing myself sing
Yes.
That was for me for the first 8 years of my career.
The other day, when Richard Stevens was on, because I have I just really love Richie Stephens' music for ever since then. I went back and I listened to the interview, and I don't like listening to myself, but I was listening. I was like, okay, you're doing your thing, Rose. Okay, I can see why. 3 years now, okay, yeah. But when you start that tour, and I'm literally right here, so all the persons who want to know me that don't know me, I'm going to give you a story in a minute. Now, all the persons who don't know, I'm telling you right now, and I'm telling this to Kenyatta, when he has his tour, I am going to come on the tour and I'm going to MC a few of the shows. And if Kenyatta think I did my job well, then I will do the entire tour with them, where I MC the show and bring out all the persons as well, okay? But I have a story for you. I have a tour that I do every year. It's called Bridging the Gap, which is to connect reggae music with Africa, right? The processes, making sure the artists get paid, make sure they don't just see the Africans the promoter when they first step in and then he disappears, making sure that when the Africans pay the Jamaicans, yes. And so I did this conference where it is based on knowing those things, the knowledge of the music and stuff like that. And my first time in South Africa as a speaker at my own conference, I was shocked. There were 13 countries that were in attendance. And to the point where I was floored. I went around the audience and I said, could you tell me if you have traveled from a different country to come here today and see me, please stand up. And I was floored to find out that persons traveled from Nigeria, Namibia, Botswana. Botswana had one big bus and two BMW Jeeps who drove from Botswana to come see me. Zimbabwe. Shout out to Zimbabwe, by the way. I see Ras Caleb that's as well that hit me up. And also we have various Zimbabwean artists who have reached out to me and said, Kenyatta Hill is an inspiration and they really love you as well. And they're here listening as well. Zimbabwe is listening. I didn't shout out Zimbabwe the whole time. Shout out to Zimbabwe as well. But it was just quite interesting that someone who, for myself, it is that I don't see myself better than the next person. But to see that 13 countries traveled to come see me, and I'm not Michael Jackson and nobody really know me. I tell myself nobody really know me. It was quite interesting as well, right? So if we're going in Africa and that's where you're starting, let it be known that, yes, we got this locked, okay? I will MC the shows.
Well, I can tell you right now, Kenya, they have to start planning.
Yes.
Kenya already started planning. They're gonna do Nairobi. Mombasa.
Are they doing different parts of Kenya? Are they doing Nairobi, Eldoret?
No, Mombasa, the second city.
Mombasa, which is like on the beach. Oh, perfect.
Yes, and then they go to
Kisumu, yeah. But Eldoret isn't far as well from there. And I know persons in Eldoret, but that's okay. We'll talk off the air. Yes. So the listening audience, they have one last question that I'm going to get to because they'll tell you we could talk to Kenyatta Hill all day, right? But yeah. Someone said, we never knew Joseph Hill played drums within the syndicates. Yes, I don't like to say the older guys. I like to say the more seasoned musicians. They always play an instrument, or they're musically inclined in different ways in terms of what they bring to the table. It's never like, oh, I just go into a studio and I go and I voice whatever. You are forced to learn more. If it's even to pick up to pick up the boxes and bring them when they go do shows. You had a job to do.
In Jamaica, we call them box boy.
Box boy. If it's even a box boy.
They have to put on roll because if they don't move them things, we ain't going to play. Somebody got to move them. That's right. Yes. Different jobs for different people.
Right. We have one last question before you go. What are this came from Namibia. What are your feelings on new modern roots reggae bands and singers coming out today? How has the experience with the late Ake Baker from Midnight influenced your work?
Well, Midnight has always been like a bigger brother to me. I've known Midnight before Midnight was even this big. Like, seriously, I've known Midnight when Midnight just started. We used to call him Midday because he was just like this little shy kid.
Yes.
And Vaughn has always been that way. Vaughn Benjamin has always been that way.
Yeah.
Until the day he passed away, he has always been that way. Okay, put it this way. There is a song that I did with Vaughn Benjamin and Puma Pop. It's called Policeman. When I do that song, people, everywhere I go and I do that song, people are like, let me listen to the words. Then they're like, that's one of my favorite Kenyatta Hill.
Yeah.
Because me, Empress Rose, when me have burn my fire, I'm not afraid. Me throw my fire out there. And anybody catch. Hold that.
Hold that.
Yeah. Hold that.
Yes.
Because if you're not doing wrong, my fire not supposed to burn you.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so imparting, and it's so sad to part with you. However, we do have to part. What you have any last minute shout outs, message for our listening audience, and if you can share your social media links as well.
Well, for sure. For sure. My Instagram, if y'all want to reach out to me, my Instagram page is Kenyatta Culture Hill. Facebook, the same thing. They're all linked together. And we can always go back and forth. I'm not the kind of person who will see a message and not reply.
Right.
I rather for it to be late than never.
Right.
My advice to everyone out there, just like Everton Blender said, lift up your heads and hold it up high. Sky's the limit, which there is no limits up there. It's a big open field. Please, if you want to do music, let no man tell you cannot obtain your goals. Just keep your eyes on the prize. Go at it like a charging bull. You will obtain whatever is it that you so desire. Me and the music, my desire is to make sure my audience and everyone gets the message.
I love it.
And I think that's very important, where we have a message where people could grasp and say, yes, I can relate to that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, to my listening audience across the world and everyone who chimed in today, yes, I did get to all the questions. Yeah. We're going to do, when Kenyatta is coming out with his album, I'm going to bring him back and we could spend 2 hours talk about his album and what to expect. And we can do the album premiere on my show, as I've done for other albums as well, and have the world listen before it hits.
You will be one of the first person to know exactly where the tour is going to be, because we're going to be keeping in contact. Yeah?
Yes.
You'll be one of the first persons to know, like, okay, the tour is starting here, so I got to get my bags packed.
Bless and love. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, do go out and check out Kenyatta Hill across the social media platforms. You can reach out to him, let him know you listen to the interview, and as well that you love his songs. Okay. Now, to everyone who is listening, because on this show we do award our listeners as well, right? I am going to be giving away 10 copies of Zion Gate. So do reach out to me and I will give that to persons who need it. And if you, by all means, you need to go back and listen to all the songs that we have played today, go in and check out this interview. Each interview will be edited per artist. So if you just want to listen to Kenyatta Hill, that's going to be on later today or tomorrow. And you can take it and play it as much as you want as well on Whole of Vibe until he come out with the album. Kenyatta, it's been a pleasure having you come by. We are going to vibe out with Pressure Drop, and I will be back to sign out. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Rastafari.
Trouble come past me all around. It's crystal clear so I can see. This concrete jungle not for me. Until Jaja make a way. All I've got to do is watch and pray. Trouble on the road and the road in a Babylon. I've got no choice but to be strong as a lion. In a this your time is a iron but iron. Trouble on the road in a concrete jungle. They got no pity for the meek and humble. Rasta man a lion, me no sleep and stumble. It's brimstone and fire when you're living in a danger zone. Everywhere you go, pressure drop. The place is like a melting pot. Everywhere you go, pressure drop. The fire burning hot and hot. Every moment is a treasure. When you're living in a danger zone. Trouble on the road and the road in a Babylon. I've got no choice but to be strong as a lion. In a this your time is a iron but iron. Trouble on the road in a concrete jungle. They got no pity for the meek and the humble. Rasta man a lion, me no sleep and stumble. It's brimstone and fire when you're living in a danger zone. Every moment is a treasure when you're living in a danger zone.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you are just tuning in right now, we are at the end of our show, where it is that we had an opportunity to listen to and vibe with Althea Hewitt right out the gate. Okay, we vibe with Althea Hewitt right out the gate, as well as we had an opportunity to listen to Devari as well. And last but not least, we were able to vibe with Kenyatta Hill. My, oh my, what a talent. And as well, it's very comfortable speaking with him as well. Appreciate that wholeheartedly. Do check us out across the social media platforms. We are International Stars, INTLSTARZ. And for a more intimate approach, you can locate me on Instagram as Infinite Empress. That's INFINITEMPRESS. Thanks for tuning in each and every week and lending to me your listening ear. Have a great rest of the day.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Can I be real with you for a second? That goal you have to exercise and eat better, you really can do it, but nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to push you out of bed to work out.